Dala akong basket. Alright guys, this is me again, Mayang, ang BekiFarmer ng BekiFarmer Nature Farm. So, andito tayo we are here at the Dahlia trial garden plot. We are preparing the land for expansion of our Dahlia garden plot. So, as you can see here, anong ginagawa namin is, we are clearing the area in which the dahlia plants would be planted. So as a matter of fact, madamo dito, it's so many grasses, and it's very daunting that we're going to clear every inch of this area with wild grass. So it's very difficult task para mag-clear ng mga grass dito. So, labor intensive in short. So, since we are natural farmers, we are very mindful of the fertility of our soil. So, ang gagawin namin is, we're going to clear only the area, expose the soil for planting. The rest of the mga in-between spaces of the dahlia plot to be planted is going to be covered with the cut wild grasses and plants. Hi! This is the daughter of my farmer. So, as you can see, yan, exposed na siya. So, we're going to make a hole here and plant those seedlings and saplings of the dahlia. So, this is regenerative agriculture, wherein we use the method of chop and drop. However, we don't chop it directly from the dahlias going to be planted. It's going to be in between the spaces. For the reason why is, pag nabulok siya, if it's going to decay, the indigenous microorganism in this area, because this area is undisturbed, will feed and decompose this organic matter para ma-supply ng nutrients ang aming growing dahlia area here. So basically this is already a fertilizer for the plants. So sa conventional farming, normally they will clear the land, remove the biomass of the wild grass, and then burn it somewhere, which is very wrong, because yung grass is not an enemy sa ating mga tinatanim na plants. Though in initial short period of time, they will compete with the vegetables or plants na tinatanim mo because of their massive root system sa ground. It is also realistic na we have to remove them so that our plants will have a good start in growing. However, if we're going to do that every time we plant croppings, nadideplete yung nutrients ng soil. So, less labor intensive, more on taking care of the soil. We have to make sure that the biomass of the wild grass should remain in this area and return to the soil. We have to be very mindful that we have to feed the soil, and the soil will feed the plants. Simple as that. So that's what we're doing right now. We are cutting the grasses, put it here in between the spaces para sa pagtatanim namin ng dahlia, and then in time the microorganism will just feed on that. Earthworms will also feast on this rich organic matter, and then all those excrement na mga microorganisms, yung mga pupo nila, will become a nutrient-based, soluble na siya, ready to be taken up by the plants na tinanim mo. So, it's very convenient and less labor-intensive, and in accordance with the, if you observe Mother Nature, how they sustainably recycle the biomass of the flowers, the plants, the leaves of the trees, to the ground, and eventually decompose and become a food source for the surrounding plants. So it's a closed loop cycle. This is what we are trying to do as well, as close as it is. It's a very basic core gardening principle that you have to feed the soil. So as you can see, so like that, we just have to clear the spaces sa plants. Okay, so this is after we have planted the plants that I explained a while ago. After a few weeks, few months, nag-flower na sila. So this is the result. If you can see, the flowers, dahlia flowers are blooming exquisitely. They're so beautiful, quite big. They are well nourished, and the soil is very fertile. So this is what I'm trying to explain here. Na we have to make sure that we have to feed the soil. We have to take care of the soil in order for the fertility of the soil to be maintained, and it's getting more fertile every year. It's very sustainable. All we have to do, if you have different kinds of grasses growing along this area, and then it feels like it's so daunting, you have to clean them, you have to spray them with herbicides, herbicides to kill the weeds, the grass, so that it's much more faster, it's less labor intensive. In my opinion, is not going to be sustainable. As a matter of fact, destructive pa siya, because it's going to ruin the fertility of the soil. It's going to destroy the life of the soil after many croppings, after many years. So if you're going to use herbicides to clean the land for you to plant some vegetables or flowering plants or whatsoever, well, initially it will reduce the percentage of the microorganism living indigenously here sa land. However, if you're going to use it every time you're going to plant some crops, the soil will become compacted, the soil will become barren, less nutrients, no more wild grasses na masyadong tumutubo, and before you know it, your soil is become too acidic, less in organic matter, and the soil is depleted with nutrients, so you are forced to use chemical fertilizer, which is a very, very bad practice. So if you're going to take care of the soil, if you're going to feed the soil so that the soil will feed the plants, of course, you have to do regenerative method of gardening, or another, what do you call this? Another term for that is permaculture or core gardening, or ancient way of doing vegetable production or planting plants. So as you can see, we clear, this is the interspaces where the grass, the wild grass has been cut. And as you can see, it's already decomposed. At that time, it was still decomposing, nasusuppress yung mga new shoots of wild grasses here. So while it was being suppressed and it's decaying, the flowers are taking up the nutrients. So it was recycled. At the same time, less grasses or weeds are coming out. For the reason is because of the bacteria fungal ratio has increased. It affects the growth of the wild grasses, the weeds, because they thrive on very poor soil, especially kapag conventional gardening ka. You are spraying herbicides, pesticides, insecticides, chemical fertilizer, and the soil is depleted. If you're not going to use the land for the next cropping, you're just going to leave it again, of course, immediately the wild grass, the weeds will come back. That is their main function. They're going to cover the land to heal, to they are the band-aids of the earth, kumbaga. So in this case, since your soil is very fertile because you continuously chop and drop the wild grasses here in between the spaces of your planted flowers or vegetables, the organic matter has increased, the nutrient availability for the plants has increased, the life of the soil has increased dramatically year after year if we're going to perform that practice of chop and drop mulching. Yeah, it also acts as mulching. It suppresses the weeds. So as you can see here, this is the in between spaces. Look, they have already dried. This is only the what's left, the husk of the cogon grass, the thick membrane, which is I believe it's less slow in decomposing because of its hard structure, so hindi siya basta-basta nabubulok sa mga microorganism. However, the green part, the soft part of this wild grass that's been put here has already decomposed and returned to the soil and become a nutrients for the plants. At the same time, it suppresses the weeds, or there is minimal weeds coming out like this vine. So you just have to do a maintenance like pulling it out and put it back again. So if you're going to do this the right way, carefully, what will happen is you will have a less labor intensive soil enrichment technique. So I'm look at this, less weeds. Though there are few like this, after you cut your grass, tutubo na naman siya, it will regrow. All you just have to do is cut it again, put it where or in between spaces or near your vegetable crops or dahlias or plants that you're planting, and then it will just decompose. So far so good. This is what I've been trying to do, and it seems to be successful naman, and I'm happy of the result of my experiment, that we have to take care of the soil and the soil will take care of the plants. That's regenerative agriculture. That's what we can help Mother Nature heal the land. And for that, that's it. I talk too much. I hope you learn from it. If you have not subscribed to my videos regarding about my adventure, my journey to natural farming, please subscribe, like, and share. And I hope you learn from it, even though I'm talking all over the place. Not in an organized way, but at least you get the idea. What I'm trying to say, that life in Mother Nature's system, if you're going to understand it and emulate it, copy it, how a closed loop cycle Mother Nature is doing to maintain the fertility of every soil, especially in your land, if you're going to copy it, you will reap the rewards, and Mother Nature will thank you for it. Thank you so much, and have a nice day. Bye.